Remember fun. Muad Dank says, is anyone having people in their friends group get dismayed about the status of AoS? Got a buddy bemoaning the hobby, and comp scenes are ruining it for casual crowds. I don't think comp is even that popular in AoS, is it? I know that Facehammer just tried to comp a bunch of stuff for their tournament, but most people don't like comp, and for great reason, so we try to keep it out. And TOs that like to try to balance the game by changing a bunch of rules are generally cringe as fuck. I don't know what he doesn't like about the hobby. I can't speak to him. Oh, he means competitive, not compensate, like not tournament comping stuff. He means competitive. Oh, okay. Does he use the HeyWoah method when he's setting up a game to play with somebody? Right? Like, you're about to play Commander with someone and you're like, hey, what kind of Commander game are you trying to play? And they're like, oh, I'm trying to play CEDH. And you're like, oh, I got a multiplayer one. It's like 6 out of 10. And then they're like, oh, okay, I'll play my multiplayer one then, right? And then that seems to fix it up. Anyway, that's usually what I do, for the most part. You're thinking about getting into Gutbusters. Your local hobby store has the Battle Force. Thoughts? Gutbusters are fun. Generally speaking, ogres seem to be made to mix a little bit. Consider the source, because I play Beast Claw, but you might consider putting a Frostlord on Stonehorn in there, just to taste. But then everything else being Gutbusters, yeah, works fine. We're talking about, like, tournament tiers or something like that. Gutbusters aren't particularly that strong, but even with just, like, one Frostlord in there, it opens up a lot of options and things. Also, getting better at the game is, like, way more important than what list you happen to be playing, and the stats back this up, so there's a lot of room for growth, is what I'm saying. Yeah, that rule really helped with your friendly local game store. We all started bringing 2 lists, and that can be as easy as swap Sequitors for Liberators. Yeah, that's what I always used to do when I'd go to the local shop. I got my super casual army in the trunk, and I got my medium competitive army in the back seat, and I'm pretty much ready for anything. He's a big fan of ogres and has Doc, but is really annoyed by people being over-involved in meta-analysis and the level of knowledge of other armies being necessary to even have a chance. I guess it depends on your crowd that you're playing with, I suppose. If you're the one casual guy and the local store is not casual, then you're going to have a bad time, in much the same way as if you're the one competitive guy and your store is all casual, no one wants to play with you. So I suppose in a way it sucks to have your reason for really liking the game be really different than the people around you, which is generally why I say people should get into it with their friends. Because then you can start to build a little community of it, right?
Rather than focus on stuff that's over with.
Virtually Evil, hey, thanks to Big Primer, I appreciate it. Know your army first and foremost. Yeah, and the way you find out about other armies is to play against them. I usually lose my first game against an army I've never played before, because that's kind of how it works. But also, like, I really want to play armies I've never played before because that's fun. I get to learn about them. Remember fun.